Let's roll.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Sunday. We are back with you again this morning. And yeah, we're still protesting.
Still protesting.
We are. We're protesting, but we are here this morning because God woke us up. We're thankful, we're blessed, and we're thankful and blessed that we can still protest.
Yeah.
Because there are so many this morning who
Yes.
either did not wake up
Come on, Reverend Rose.
or just or just said, you know what?
Come on, Pastor.
I'm tired. I can't lift this hand anymore.
Make it plain,
I'm
Pastor.
just gonna let it lay
Let
down,
it
and
down.
I'm just gonna keep it moving.
And let the church say.
Amen.
And amen again. So this morning we are on our final night of Black Women Equal Pay. The last 3 nights have been phenomenal. Phenomenal. I am Rose Fauntleroy. I am your virtual time and sales genie. It's simple, y'all. Y'all hear me say it all the time. I give you more hands that save you more time that affect your bottom line. I'm going to pass it off to my co-host. Let them introduce yourself. We're going to roll in and we're going to roll out.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Sunday. Isn't this a blessed day to wake up? We have another day to go at it again and reach all our dreams, goals, and desires, and to continue this fight for a 6th year and plenty more to go for our Black Women Equal Pay Day. I am Kayshawn Brooks, the owner of a luxury skincare company called Renew You Body Butters. I provide my clients with alternative remedies for their skin, hair, and body, and I partner with individuals to do the same thing to make additional income. We are about creating. They're not going to give us our equal pay, so we're creating our pay, and we're doing it united together as a community. And this is where all of you need to be. And thank you for joining us this morning. I'm gonna pass it to my next beautiful co-host.
Good morning, everyone. As always, it is an honor and a privilege to be here. Happy Sunday. I love Sundays. It's like one of my favorite days out the week. I don't know why, but it is. For those of you who do not know, I am Vicky Kirk May, and I help educators to transform not just their body, but their bank account so that they can show up in the world and be the best version of themselves inside and out. And I'm just ready to dive right in because I know that it's going to be some amazing things that are going to be said on today that's going to transform lives. Take it away. Oh, is she gone?
Oh, well, I'll jump in. I was sure. Hi, this is Sheree this morning. How are you all? And we have been celebrating for a couple of days now, looking at Black Women's Equal Pay Day as a way to raise our voice, to bridge the gap, and then to find other options for ourselves and to generate our own pay, as Kayshawn said. This is about empowerment. It's about using our voice. It is about moving the protests from the streets to the halls of employers, halls of government, halls of medical facilities, every place that we can be and are to use our voice collectively to change the world. So welcome. There's a lot of things we're going to tell you about, a couple of sites you can go visit, free books you can have. There's a lot of energy going into this to empower you and fill you up with positivity so you can change your life.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. We are back like that good habit that we always tell you about. Thanks for joining us this morning. Hopefully, you've been with us on this journey for the last 3 days and you do not want to miss tonight. Come on, make sure that you register so you can be there, be square, get there early because the house is going to be jam-packed and it fills up. Some amazing information on last night. And you guys had opportunity to see us in the raw where we got some real tough love, but it was what we needed to keep us moving forward. So I would be remiss if I didn't thank the Reverend Dr. Danielle Winningham for allowing us weekend warriors to be on her platform today. And I am Dr. Cynthia R. Armstead, and women hire me to help them to bounce back when they hit completely rock bottom, when they are broke and broken. This technology don't want me to be great this morning, but I'm going to be great anyway.
There
All
we
right.
go.
So we encourage
Right.
you to go and get registered for tonight. You do not want to miss it at www.blackwomensequalpay.com. Let's get this conversation started, ladies. Yes.
Let's talk about today. Let's talk about obedience, because I think of all the things that really help you on your journey to success, obedience is at the top of the list.
Oh yeah.
And even delayed obedience is disobedience.
Mm.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't think people realize that when God tells you to move, you need to move. And He's not going to always give you full instructions. And He's not going to always give you the 100% the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to always give you a checklist. Hello. He's not going
Okay.
to always
Uh,
itemize your actions. It's not
no
always going to
manual.
come as a list. But when He says move, we miss blessings by not moving expediently. We miss blessings by not moving in full faith. He may say jump, and we jump with one foot still on the floor, trying to make sure that in jumping, we don't mess nothing up.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I want to remind you. Before you got to that point where you were dedicated in building your business, you messed a lot of stuff up. You messed a lot of stuff up hanging out with your friends. You
Yeah.
messed a lot of stuff up drinking and turning up. All of us haven't always been so quote unquote holy.
Right.
If He kept you through all of that, why would
Right.
He keep you now?
Right.
So, as business owners, and one of the top attributes of the really rich is faith, because people that are really rich have faith not only that He's not going to leave you, but having faith also that whatever you do mess up is for a reason. We so busy in our imperfect perfection, thinking everything got to be just right for us to put it out there, that we miss the opportunity to be obedient and say, Lord, whatever I mess up, I know you can fix it. I know whatever I mess up, I know it's going to serve my good. I know whatever mistakes I make are intentional and they're going to teach me something. I know whatever I don't finish, you can. And
Wow.
so we miss the opportunity to let God be God and let us be human like we human. And stop making excuses for why you don't have. Yes, you might be black. That's not the reason. Yes, you may be fat. Not the reason. Yes, whatever you can come up with. That's not
Mm-hmm.
the reason you don't have. Disobedience. That overthinking everything. That everything's got to be perfect. That waffling back and forth. That not committing 100% to the 100%. That's where your gap is. So that when you stop letting everybody else call your shots, except for the Most High, because you letting your job call your shots, and you letting the people around you call your shots, and you letting
Okay.
their mama they call your shots. Rose mentioned earlier before we came on here, when she stopped wearing hats, people was pinging her saying, "Wear your hats, you ain't going to church." Girl, where your hat at, girl? Why you not live? See, that's one thing I don't accept. I'll accept feedback for anybody that's as deep in the game as I am. Meaning, if you go live every day, oh, I'll take any feedback you give me. If you done made the kind of money I made, I'll take any feedback you give me. If you have sacrificed, let me just take the money off the table. If you ain't make no money, but you've sacrificed, at the level I've sacrificed, I will listen to any. If you haven't, keep your
I don't want to
mouth.
hear.
Keep your feedback to yourself. I don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very easy to be a couch quarterback.
Right.
It's very easy to coach from the pews. It's very easy to be a sideline commentator. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're not doing what I'm doing, if you're not struggling like I'm struggling, if you're not working like I'm working, if you're not sacrificing like I'm sacrificing, you can't help me. And a lot of us will be better off if we let people, if we conveniently invited people to shut up talking to us.
Conveniently.
All right.
Invite them.
Conveniently.
Invite them.
Love that.
Leave me alone. You're not doing what I'm doing. Yeah, you can
Invite.
be on the sidelines and tell me how to do it better. Because you're not over here with these kids. You're not over here juggling this and that. So yeah, it's easy for you to look and tell me what I can do better. How about you look at you and tell you what you can do better? Because we all got room for that. Something me and Troy talk about all the time. Baby, don't look over here and tell me what I should, would, could be doing until you get to that perfect place in your life. And since you ain't perfect, since we all far from it, reserve your feedback. I'm gonna put it this way: if I ain't paid you to tell me what to be doing, I don't need your help what to be doing. But see, let me tell y'all something. That's why by the time coach gets to you and got something to say, you woe out.
Yeah.
Because you done listen to all them people that ain't paid for your feedback from.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't listen to all them people
Okay.
that you need to listen to feedback from. You didn't listen to all them people that ain't done it before. Everything I tell you to do, I'm either doing it or done it.
Come
I'm
on.
either doing
Period.
it or done it.
Come
I'm
on.
not
Coach.
sitting there
Period.
telling you to do nothing that I ain't done myself. When I said, how many people have y'all messaged about coming? I used to sit up late at night messaging people about coming to events. I've either done it or I'm doing it. There is no, oh, well, girl, why don't you do that? Speculation. People giving you hypothetical advice. Well, I think, girl, ain't nobody nobody paid you to think, girl. I'm not paying you to think. How about you think about that man you got that won't sweep a floor around your house?
Mm.
Woo, say that.
Then you worry about me. How about you think about where he at right now? Because I seen him out with this, that, and the other. Why you thinking about me? See, the truth be told, if everybody would spend their time thinking about themselves, we wouldn't have room
Mm-hmm.
to criticize nobody else. We wouldn't have room to talk about nobody else. Your business is enough. And the only reason I'm in any of y'all business because you pay me. Trust and believe. If you don't pay me, I'll be like, girl, well, girl, girl, do what you think is best. I had somebody come to class one time and say, well, my friend, girl, I'm not coaching your friend. I'm not going to use my brain power to
Mm-hmm.
solve your friend problem. Tell your friend to hire a coach and get some help. Meanwhile, I'm
Yes.
out of it. I'm telling y'all, everybody's hands are full enough.
Absolutely.
I don't care who it is.
Man.
If it's your spouse, they need to fix themselves.
Okay.
If it's your mom and them, they need to fix themselves. Who among any of us is just so perfect that we can just berate and talk crazy to anybody else? And the answer to that is
Not
nobody.
one.
Mm-hmm.
It's
The
called
answer to that
That's
is
right.
nobody.
it's called mind your business.
It's called get a business. Now, see, that's what's
I like
wrong with
that.
some people that got too much time on their hand. It's called get a business
Yes.
and run it. Because at the point
Absolutely.
when you get a business and you run it, oh, you're not gonna have time.
That's right. You sure
You,
won't
you
have
know, I'm gonna let y'all speak to that.
You're not.
because some of y'all spend too much time listening to the wrong people. And even on these internet streets, some of y'all surf from professional to professional to professional. I don't know how y'all do it.
I can speak to that.
I can't have all them voices in my face.
Me either.
Because
Exactly.
all it's gonna do is confuse you.
And
I
exactly.
understand good information. I understand even sermons. I can't spend all my day listening to 1,000 pastors.
Yeah.
I need one shepherd.
Confused.
Yeah. Eating off all these different plates.
It'll make you sick.
It'll
It
make
will
you
make you
sick.
sick, and it will keep you confused because everybody's not saying the same thing, and everybody's not right. When you're out here in these internet streets, and everybody's motives are different, so you have
And I'm
to
gonna say,
make a
Rose,
choice.
everybody's not right for you.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
See, I always, before I spend my time listening to anybody and anything, I ask myself, is this who God assigned to me?
That's
Wow.
right.
And
That's right.
you might say to yourself, well, God ain't sitting. If God would take the time to make all of us different, wouldn't He take the time to assign you to the right place? He said, I have a plan for your life, plans for you to prosper. I'm be like, Lord, what my plan? Who do I need to see to pick up my plan? He said, before you was even in your mother's, come on now. Who is that thoughtful to make all of us different? And we take the differences and the uniqueness and the individuality that he gives us, and we do our best. We do our best to turn it into something that looks like somebody else. Why is that? We take the fact that he was so deliberate in creating each and every one of us that we are as unique as pearls. You know, there's no two pearls that are alike.
That's right.
Right.
But we strive, even in our creation, to be just like everybody else. We want to go to work when everybody goes to work. We want to go to the grocery store when everybody else goes to the grocery store. We want to go to the movies when everybody else goes. Have you ever noticed how people move in herds, like they migrate?
Yep.
That's the worst thing you can do is have a herd mentality.
I agree with that.
That's right, Coach. You know what you said made me think that we don't trust enough, right? We don't trust enough, and we think, I think we don't realize that we're just hitting God's hand when we say, "Oh, well, I'm not all that, so therefore I need to go listen to these other people." I'm not, like He made a mistake, like He did something wrong, like there's something wrong with us. And we've listened to people say we're not enough. We've listened to people tell us that we're not good enough, and we bought into that instead of just going on with faith. I know that I've done that. I've slipped and go, oh, okay, well, I look in the mirror and go, okay, I'm not good enough because other people don't think I'm good enough, versus looking to the heavens and saying that's not true. That's not true.
I tell you, one of my favorite
I agree.
That goes back
one of
to
my favorite Twilight Zones. I don't know if y'all remember Twilight Zone. But one of my favorite Twilight Zones is called Beauty is in the Eye of the Beholder.
Yeah.
And they kept giving her this surgery over and over and over, trying to make her look like everybody else. And it wouldn't work. And so finally they said, well, since the surgery won't work, all the while they're not showing her face. They're just showing how anguished she is every time they cut the bandages off, and they can't make her look like everybody else. So at the end, they banished her to this island with people that looked like her because they were different. Well, come to find out, the woman was blonde haired and blue eyed, looked like Marilyn Monroe. The people that was operating on had crushed lips and big noses. So what they basically was saying that everybody is different, and it's up to society to say what's pretty and what's ain't. And if we stop letting society thrust its version of beauty on us, Stop running around here
Talking.
following people that's faking our booties. Stop running around here
Okay.
following people and idolizing people that's faking our lips. Stop running around here and idolizing and faking people that's using our swag and culture and fashion sense to dress and be icons. They don't have any self. All they got is copy and paste. So we just following copy and paste around. Meanwhile, copy and paste is copying from us.
Exactly. No
Why
originality, no
not be the
authenticity.
original?
Right.
We went around a copy of a copy. Black girl dying, but black girls
And
dying.
claiming to be the originator of it.
That don't make sense.
Yeah, and putting their stamp on it saying that they originated it.
And making money from it.
Making money.
Making money
Making
from it.
money.
Absolutely.
Making money.
So I think
And
And
nothing
all we
original.
do is more
Nothing
material.
original about it. Nothing authentic.
I think we as women need to start defining what we think is beautiful. I think we as women need to give these companies that want to put these cookie cutter images of women out there. I think we need to put them on timeout.
Okay.
I think that you want to keep parading these size 8 women in front of me, timeout. They're not even 8, they 2s and 4s. Zeros, timeout.
Time out.
You want to put everybody in this commercial, this one skin color, timeout.
Time out.
I think
Or
we are
or
demanding.
or coach put everybody in there, and even if they are of a darker hue, they lighten them up where they don't even look right.
Or
Time
they got to have hair down their back, timeout.
Time out.
I mean, it's up to us on what we expect and what we accept. And I'm my own worst critic already. I don't need your help.
That's right.
And that's what we need to start telling people, baby. I'm hard enough on me. I don't need your support with that. If you're gonna support me with anything, exactly. If you want to support me with anything, support me in telling me how great I am. Support me in telling me it's okay for me to try. Support me in telling me I'm gonna make it. I don't need no more help tearing myself down. I really don't.
They can't look in the mirror and tell themselves those things. So how are they gonna tell it to you?
But that's what you need to know. See,
Yes,
that's what you
absolutely.
need to know. See, the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, he said that when they talking about you, they really talk about themselves.
Yeah.
Every idea they have about themselves, their less than, their fears, their idiosyncrasies, their quirks, they're delivering that up onto you. All you gotta do is refuse delivery. See, just because somebody want to present some shit to you, don't mean you gotta accept delivery.
That's right. Return to sender.
Let them show up
But we sit there and we listen to it and we take it in. Like, I don't want to hurt their feelings and walk away. I've learned to walk away from those type of conversations. I don't care. You can say I'm rude. You can say that I don't like confrontation. You can say whatever. It's just certain things I'm not going to allow in my ear gate. And I'm definitely not going to hold a conversation with someone that is making me feel even worse about myself. I have to fight me every day. I don't need to add another enemy, to the war. This war that's going on within me is enough.
It's enough. It's enough to break most.
That's right.
So I don't need your help calling me names. I don't need you talking about how I'm inept. I don't need you talking about how I'm not capable or how I'm less
country I talk. I know I talk country.
I don't need your help with none of that.
None of it.
And that's
where the disobedience comes in too, Coach, because we listen. We already having this negative self-talk, but then we allowing others to throw on us their insecurities And so then we stay stuck, and then we don't do what we know we're supposed to do because we don't want to hear, I told you it wasn't going to work, or we get so caught up in because of our past mistakes. And I'm just talking about me after so many failures of messing up and these mind games that we play with ourselves, then we don't want to give it a try. But I'm at the point now in my life that if I'm a fail, let me fail because I know it's a lesson in it. I know it's to get me,
Yeah.
to whatever it is that God has for me. But before, oh my gosh, before I'm like, here I go again. God, why do I keep messing up? But I had to change my perspective. But that came with a lot of inner work. And folks don't want to take the time to do the inner work. And once you do it, it's perpetual. You can't stop and think, oh, I arrived. And then next thing you know, you knocked down again. And I'm like, whoo, this is a lifetime journey, God.
It is and you know why?
It
Because
is.
as we progress and as we get better, it's like a car. You still have to do maintenance. A car will
Oh my
last a
gosh.
lifetime as long as you do maintenance.
Yeah, yeah.
Or your transmission only gonna run so many miles before you have to replace it.
Mm-hmm.
Them belts and
Breaks.
pistons and rods and all of that, it's got to be oiled, got to be greased, and occasionally it has to be replaced. But the car lasts a lifetime
If you take
according to
Mm-hmm.
the for that car.
if you take
Right.
And we be so busy caring for everything else.
Woo.
Everything else but ourselves. Coach, you were really
I had to put all
and
of
I'm a
my electronics through an electronic tune-up yesterday. Yeah,
Go ahead,
had to
um
go
Casey.
back and put all my electronics through an electronic tune-up. So yeah, she's right. Absolutely.
coach, you
I'm
spoke
sorry,
on
Keyshawn.
obedience and okay, that's fine. You spoke on obedience and how you have to have faith. And once I got tired of being led, following the herd, because I went through that my whole life, following the herd and never getting to where I was supposed to, where I wanted to be. And then when I didn't get there, I made different types of decisions. And then it led to different type of mistakes and still not getting nowhere but following the blind, basically. But once I was abandoned, like, oh, okay, there's nothing left for you to have. I didn't have no choice but to have faith and to follow whatever God's word was. And that's how I found this community. That's how my life, my business, and my mind has transformed so quickly. And when you're obedient, people think I'm balling out of control here, from how they've seen me transform in the last year. And that's when you follow God's word and you're obedient and you move when He says move and you block out all the outsiders, whoever is not on the same road that you on, that's how you end up in places like this, in communities like this, because then you get people around you who want you to win, and by any means necessary. And you see the result. What I'm going through, the transition, everybody else before the age of 40 ain't made these type of changes within me in my life. So I'm going to follow God's word, listen to Him. It's like, if you think I'm balling out of control, I ain't even got started yet. And just listening, it's so true. When she say be obedient, move when the opportunity is there. You got to look at things will happen. You think you don't have the money, but money or situations, time, opportunities come. And it's where you take advantage of that opportunity. My sister Vicky said, you tell your money. Oh no, Shanandra, you tell your money where you want it to go. You tell your time where you want it to go. And when you start thinking like that, it will manifest that way. So when you're trying to get to where you want to go, it's going to manifest now. What it is you're going to have to be obedient
Mhm.
and move when that opportunity comes.
Absolutely.
Because you can't dwell on it. You didn't thought about it. You didn't prayed on it. You didn't ask for it. So when it comes, you ask. You move. You can't. I'm one of those, and Coach knows I overthink everything, everything, and I had to learn to stop that. But it was because of my past mistakes and me following those herds of people. That's why I was overthinking. But now that I'm learning to rethink in a better way, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful journey, and I don't regret it. She's helping me get to be able to get that. I'm a Black woman, get that equal pay that she knows that I deserve. And she wants that for you too. We all want that for you. That's why we're still protesting. And let join in on this battle with us by going to the website www.blackwomenequalpay.com. Come join us in this. Be obedient. This is your time. This is your move, your time to move. Don't miss this opportunity. Anybody that knows me, that sees me, it's because I moved. It's because I listened. It's because when I asked, when I prayed, and when how everything transpired, it's right there in your face. And like they said earlier, these internet streets are filled with so many people out here with stuff. And you got to know what's for you at that moment, and where you at in that season of your life. And where I'm at in this season of my life, this community is where I need to be.
That's right. That's right. I
And
know, as I'm just thinking about what everybody was saying, and what I do know is that for a long time I was wanting a breakthrough. And
Mm-hmm.
when I know that I'm not the only one waiting for a breakthrough, and that breakthrough is going to come with divine instruction. And we're waiting. I think we expect for God to come down and sit beside us, and he can if he want to, but God uses people. That's
Mm-hmm.
why on last night I'm so thankful for a coach that when I want to hear divine instruction, that I got a coach that I know without a shadow of a doubt that the instruction that I'm getting is coming from on high. There is no perfect coach, but there's a perfect coach for me. There's a perfect coach for you. So, who is that? And are you going to take the time to do something as simple as go to bit.ly/free women 2020 and make that divine connection? Because that's the beginning of breakthrough, is when you can connect yourself to the right people. And we can say Black women
Yes.
equal pay till the cows come home. Is that the same? Till the cows come home, till the chickens roost, whatever,
Right. Something like that.
But it means nothing. It means nothing if we don't do what we're supposed to do. We want to do everything else but what our God-given assignment is. And I know that I'm not by myself. I know that I wasn't the only one that was doing all this busy work, looking good, looking successful, looking like I'm about that thing.
Mm-hmm. About that
I
life.
mean, looking like
Vicky,
it, talking like it, walking like it. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
say, when people say
Yeah.
if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, quacks like a
Yeah.
duck, it's a duck. No, it's not.
So it's not.
No, it's not. It's some great pretenders out
It's
here.
an adult.
there you go. Say it.
Right?
There's some great pretenders. That's why we can't
Mm-hmm.
lose focus on and start and looking at all these other folks and what it seemed like they have. You don't know what they have and what they had to do to get it. whether it be good or bad. You don't know what sacrificial living or giving that they had to invest in the journey. That's why some of us will never be where Coach is, or will never be where, some of the greats, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, whatever, because they're not willing, to invest at that level, but yet they want the return at that level. It doesn't work like that. So
Right.
when Coach started
Don't
out
work
talking
like
about
that.
disobedience, we some hard-headed children.
Absolutely.
We hard-headed, but yet we want the reward of those who obey. And it's just not gonna happen. We have to start doing the right things the right way, at the right time. That's a formula for success.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not, and
It
we
is.
don't want to. We don't want to do that. We still want to feed this flesh. If it don't feel good to us, we don't want to do it. But see, sometimes success come on a rocky road. Sometimes it's some thorns and some thistles that we have to endure. I think it was Paul that said he had that thorn in his side, but it didn't keep him from doing what God called him to do.
It was a
But
reminder.
see, we
Right.
want the thorn in our side to stop us.
But the
We want
thorn
to
is
use
a
the thorn in
reminder.
our side as an excuse.
And it's not an excuse, it's
Mm-hmm.
a reminder that we are not perfect, a
Woo!
reminder that we are to be on a certain path and to stay on
Yes.
the path until completion. It's a reminder about using the discernment that God has given us to stay on that path. We look at that thorn in our side as something that's going to kill us or that's bad, but really it's a reminder. Because if you didn't have that thorn, didn't have that reminder, you would be willy nilly in everywhere. And every
Woo!
time you veer off your path, that thorn sticks you a little harder and you get back on. And sometimes in that disobedience is where that reminder, where that time
Mm-hmm.
comes to make you
That's
say,
right,
wait a minute,
Rose.
or someone comes,
Mm-hmm.
someone that God has sent to remind you. Because the thorn is not just something that's stuck in your side. Like you said, God uses people. And it's people who come to remind you. And if your discernment is good, you can tell that that person was sent just for you.
You know
It's
what?
not
Both of
about.
you said some really good things. I thought, starting with waiting for a breakthrough, and Rose, what you just said, that discernment to tell, because we don't want to feel that pain or that discomfort. So when someone comes and gets in your face and challenges you in the way that calls you higher, not challenges you to put you down or is critical, but
Right.
is telling you the truth so that you're motivated to action, that's the one you want to go with. It doesn't feel good, it's uncomfortable, but you can sense and you can use your discernment to know they're coming at you with love, right? They are coming, like Coach says, to come at you for your own greatness versus the ones that criticize us. We know the difference. The people that
Mm.
are, oh, why do you have a website? Why don't you generate any money yet? Why don't you have X amount of dollars? Why don't you do this? What about that? Well, so and so's doing this and they got that. All of that negativity, and you're right, Vicki, we leave some of that toxic stuff in our space. And it does come back to our mindset of willing to act and not worry about mistakes. Like, why did we get this thing that we can't make mistakes? What's that all about? When
And
you're a
then we
kid, you
put it
learn
on
to
our
walk, you
children.
fall down while you're trying to walk. That's
Right.
like a normal thing, is to try something, make a mistake, learn from it, and get up and go. But somewhere along the line, we convince ourselves that we can't make mistakes. So I know for me, I don't want to do anything. It's like, oh, I don't know if I can be, I don't know that I can be 100% successful if I do that. If I could make a mistake, I could look bad. So let me stay over here a little bit safe, and not push myself out my comfort zone, not push myself. You're right. We won't get those levels of greatness of the Oprah, of the Tyler Perry, of Coach, if we're going to stay in the same box. How are
Exactly.
we going to get there?
That's it, the
You
box.
got to take the lid
Yeah,
off and go take a shot.
And you gotta take the lid off, and then you got to crawl out of
no.
that box. You gotta turn it. You
Exactly.
gotta turn it on the side so you can get out or get out by any means necessary. I'm
Exactly.
reading this
Get
book
out and then burn it.
and
See,
then burn.
we get out the box, but we don't tear it up. We don't
Oh, we
burn
want to
it.
keep it close
Right.
Yeah,
by.
we
I mean,
leave it
You
there
need
look,
in
to
case
burn
you
that mug.
right,
you
yeah.
know, I tell
I
you
may want to
know,
climb back in.
Yeah,
we
back to
have
your
to
safe place.
we have to burn it. When women decide they don't want children anymore, they don't get their tubes tied
They
anymore.
burn
They
them.
like burn them suckers, burn them.
Yep, burn them.
Right.
But you
Burn,
know,
baby, burn.
We got to get out that box and we got to burn it down. It needs to be ashes because if not, when we want to go run and hide, we're going to get back in that box.
Mm-hmm.
And Black women, women of color, women, period, we cannot afford to hide anymore. That's what this past couple of days has been all about. And I have just been I don't know, I can't even describe the feeling or the emotions that has risen in me. It's a different type of emotion. I thought it was mad, but it's not mad. I think it's desperation. I'm desperate even more for the things of God. I'm desperate for financial freedom. I'm desperate for
Yeah.
for my children and my children's children to have the best. And so I cannot keep getting in and outside of the box, literally, figuratively, whatever. I have to destroy that thing. And what destroys it is when I wake up intentionally every day deciding to walk in my purpose and that I don't lay my head down until I complete my daily assignment. Every day, God gives us an assignment. And it took some hard talk to get me to this place. It took me some hard talk because I was about to lay my millions aside because I thought everything else was important, not realizing that if I completed my assignment, that all that other stuff that I was doing was gonna line up. And so I had to understand what was the difference between important and urgent. And sometimes we get the two mixed up. Mary and Martha, they got, when they was preparing for Jesus to come, they were getting in. I think it was a Martha that was getting it mixed up between what was urgent and what was important. And see, sometimes we just got to take time and sit down at the feet of God and listen. And that it shows up in different individuals. So as we create our own economy, whose feet are we sitting at? Whose feet are we sitting at? Because we can't be sitting at anybody's feet. We can't be breaking bread with any and everybody.
That's right.
It's some folks I'm not gonna sit, and this is just my personal whatever, but I'm real funny about who I break bread with. And my coworkers be like, why you didn't go to such and such? Girl, you already know.
You ain't did nothing wrong because you really see that's part of our problem is that we do. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, but at some point you do have to be careful because spirits are going and coming all the time. And even when I started my journey to build my business, I had to be careful who I was around because if you talking about Sex in the City, because it was hot back then, it was hot.
And I'm talking about the prophet.
But I'm feeling some kind of way because I'm working while you watching Sex in the City. But then I start to say, well, I don't want to be left out of the conversation. Let me go ahead and start watching Sex in the City. And before you know that, I'm gone.
You caught up.
Right.
Before I know that, I'm off my mission and I'm on to something else.
It's that
So
old
the mass majority, you should not feel bad for following your own path and charting your own course because the mass majority is doing what they want to do regardless. They are following each other okay with it,
Mhm.
living complacently, okay with it. Live. I remember living paycheck to paycheck, and I remember being okay with buying clothes and then having to take them back because I didn't have enough to pay bills. If I
Ooh.
needed something for the kids, I had to take an outfit to the store and swap it out for this, that, and that. I remember all of that, buying things and just having a closet full of stuff with tags on it that I couldn't afford. And so when I got tired of it, I got tired of it.
Mhm.
But when I really realized that none of that stuff was enough to free me, not the name brand shoes, not the name brand purses, and we tend to squander a lot of money too. When I realized, you know what? Let me start taking my food to work. Let me start staying away from them power hour lunches. Let me
Yeah.
start skipping them happy hours. Because those none of those people are gonna save me. None of those people are gonna come pay my bills when they're due. None of those people are gonna help me take care of my kids. None of those people care if I got a job
Mm-hmm.
today or if I lose it tomorrow. None of those people care. It's just superficial Mimi chatter. That's it. It's just
Right
superficial
now.
Mimi chatter. And when I got to the point where I said no more, then I cut it out. So Vicky,
Absolutely.
you right. You
Then
got to be
don't look
careful
back.
who you let in your circle. And I'm
And
not even.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm proud of myself, Coach. I was such
Go ahead.
a people pleaser.
We got you.
And when I say maybe even a month, I have been free of that. It's so new to me. I'm a little uncomfortable because I didn't know how bound I was by other folks' opinion of me.
Yeah.
But it's good.
And to be okay with being um the different one, the dreamer, I'm okay with that.
Vicky, I'd rather be the different one than be the broke one.
Yeah.
I'd rather be the different one than be the one in debt.
Right.
I'd rather be the different one to be the one
Right.
that can do for my kids. Can't retire when I'm ready. I'd rather be the different one that be running around working a job all my life. Let me be different.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Come
I'm
on.
okay with it.
Come on. Come on.
And
Exactly.
I'm
Vicky, you
okay
talked about the box.
with a people pleaser.
Vicky talked about that box. And what I think of when I think of that box is that mindset is really in that box. And when you have that breakout and that breakthrough, like what she's experiencing now, when you get on the other side of that thing, what you realize is that there never was a box. There never was a box. That box was in there somewhere. There's no box. That's just what that
Well, I know
mindset
one
and
thing.
those
I
people
ain't going
around
back
you.
to
You guys
it.
talk about discernment.
Look,
You
that
guys
I'm
talk
not
box
about
going
been
back
burnt.
to it.
discernment.
It's been
You guys talked
And
about
you'll
discernment earlier. I got
find,
all the notes over here.
and you'll
Discernment,
find
you
that when
know.
you're the different one, you'll find that when you're the different one and you continue to walk that different path, all of those that try to pull you onto their path, they are watching you. Next thing you know, you'll look back, here they come along your path trying to do what you do because they see that different moves in a different way and it works better.
And who knows, they maybe not. Maybe it's hard to wake up and see. It's hard to wake up and see that relationship you thought was everything is eating you alive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is literally
Mm-hmm.
cannibalizing you from the inside out.
mm,
It's hard to wake up and see that job you thought
Was a good
that
job.
you loved
Lord.
was really just a mental trick.
Right. A
Keep
Jedi
you from
mind trick.
losing your mind.
Mm,
Jedi mind trick.
Jesus.
It's hard to wake up and realize you've been wasting your time for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's hard.
and maybe,
It's hard. It
call it
hurts.
selfish. I don't
You
even
want to go
care, but
back.
I don't even have time to look back and see who's watching. I don't. I just have to
Mm-mm.
do what's right for me and mine right now. You know, I'm not gonna be like Lot's wife and turn back. And when I turn back to look and see what I done left behind, and then here I am, I done turned into a pillar of salt. I don't have time for that because it's folks counting on me. I'm counting on me.
Right.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
You
Me
know,
too.
and so I
That's what's
just,
most
and I'm not
important.
getting any younger. And coach, you said last night,
Mm-hmm.
and my grandmama used to say it all the time. She was like, work while it is day.
Mm-hmm.
Because when nighttime comes, no man can work. And and that was God telling us, do what you need to do right now.
Wow.
Stop waiting on later on. You don't know if there is gonna be a later on. Do that thing right now.
Mm.
And so, I'm excited about the new me. I am, and I have resolved in myself that I got to stay on this journey to changing. Every day I'm waking up to a new Vicky. And that's okay if I have to get to know myself all over again, day by day, then that's what I'm gonna do.
That's
Okay.
what makes it exciting. That's what makes life
It's a
exciting.
fight now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah, I
Vicky,
always
you
say
know what?
that
You
the
said
newest that you're
something.
waking up
Vicky,
It's
and
a fight, Vicky, but being broke is a
you
fight.
talk
right.
Yeah.
about
Following
being
everybody
younger.
else is a fight.
Yeah.
All the things that you were doing before,
Yes.
it's a fight too. You had just got so used to that fight, you forgot you was fighting.
Mm.
Ooh, you're so
Mm-hmm.
right.
You had gotten so used to that
Right.
fight. You had built up such a resistance to that fight
Resistance. Yeah. Yeah.
that you had built up so much muscle in that fight
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you literally was fighting with your hands down.
I really
Oh,
was.
wow.
And,
Mm.
and it
Oh,
was
that's a good analogy. Oh,
Now
that's
you
so
fighting
true.
with the
it's
full
what we
armor of
became used
God
to.
now.
It's what we became used to.
We fight.
And we was just going along for the ride. And when you wake up, you
Woo.
realize, shit, I was fighting to keep nothing.
Mm.
Nothing at all.
Fighting hard to keep
Nothing
nothing.
at all.
Going along with the program.
Fighting hard to keep
Mm.
something that wasn't
You're going along with the program. That was
keep
my
me.
answer to that question, that coach.
Fight for people who
Mm.
won't fight for you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm, that's good.
And Vicky, you said something. Your grandmother said you make hay while the sun is shining because when night comes, no man can work. Look at where we are now in this pandemic. For those,
Mm,
you didn't make your hay while the sun is shining, and here we were put in a position where no man could really work.
mm.
If you think that the
Woo.
word of God is not true, I don't know what else.
My grandmama also said, when you know better, you ought to do better.
Absolutely.
Ought to do better. And
And
you do
it's
it now.
and
And
we're
you
around
do it.
somebody that's giving us too much information for us to still keep doing the same old nothing that we've been doing. Something not right with that.
Or
That's called
following
that's
that
called
herd.
foolishness,
That's called
insanity,
insanity.
crazy, whatever. Something not right. Something not right. But we have
Not
somebody that's
right.
telling us, but not just telling us, but showing us
Show.
in
Yes.
real time.
And
Coach said
doing
it
it.
earlier. It's
And,
disobedience.
and
It's
doing that,
disobedience. He said
and
it.
we have to break the societal programming that keeps us down
Mm-hmm.
in what everyone else is doing and what it looks like and what they say it should look like, and follow your path. And it is hard.
That's it.
It is hard.
It is.
Woo.
And you have people that fight you too. When you start changing in your mind and you
Yeah.
start acting and moving different, the people around you, they're gonna fight you because they want that old you back. They want that
Right.
old mindset, that old behavior, old mentality. And, you know, my sisters know I come up in here crying, you know, right before we go live, like, y'all won't believe what just happened. And they'd be like, but you still got to keep pushing. And I need that because they want you to turn back. And you can't go backwards. I have to keep going because I'm woke now. I don't know how to go back
Oh,
to
that
sleep
woke.
and play
Mm.
that role no more. I have
Yeah.
awakened. I am woke and I am going forward. And the only way I'm going to sleep is my final resting place with Jesus.
That's
I
it.
And
tell you, but won't
since
folks
he
act
ain't
a
took
fool?
me, I can't go back to sleep in that darkness.
But
Mm.
won't folks act a fool when you start changing?
I can't.
Oh
And
yeah, coach.
what's
Oh, you
wrong with
so
you?
oh you bougie now. Oh, we thought you was bougie at first, but you real
They coach,
bougie now.
no, they blame it on me.
Yeah, you
They
hang
coach, why you,
Yeah, coach,
you
you
hang
get the
around you hang
blame.
around you hang around with them people. Now you really think you all that.
why is you listening to
I'm
us?
starting with that.
Yeah,
I just
you
started
right,
with
coach.
that. Oh my gosh.
You
I
right,
was
coach.
one of my friends was just like, them people
They
need
ring
to
my
have.
phone at night and they say, "You can't talk. You on another one of those
Oh
calls? You in
Lord,
another
go ahead
class?"
now.
Oh, don't talk
Please
about the
don't talk
calls.
about that. Don't
Don't talk about.
you be on the computer
No.
all day long. You in another
Well,
meeting.
how many days a week are you with that coach? How many days a
Uh-huh.
week do y'all meet? How many times? As many times as it
You taking
takes.
every
Call
Correct.
24/7.
You need to go take get a job. You need
But
to
the
go out
crazy
there and
part
go
of
do
that,
something. You taking
but the crazy part of that is they don't question your abuse of the job.
No, they don't.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
They don't question you getting paid, jacked up at a job. They don't question you getting fired and laid off from a job. They
Mm-mm.
don't question you getting treated bad at a
yeah.
job. They never question it. Oh, why don't you just go get another job? It's gonna be the same shit in a different toilet.
Rose, you retired.
Oh,
Look,
wow.
Right.
look, Coach.
Come on,
Rose, you
coach.
retired. When you going back to work? I said, well, don't you know the meaning of retire? You gonna get another job?
I'll get a call. I'll get a call in the evening when they know I'm in class and they'll say, "Well, I didn't call you during the day because you were working, but you've been calling me every Monday night for the last 2 years, and you know damn well I'm not talking to
Right.
you on a Monday night. So respect that. You will respect the fact that you've been calling
Because
me during the day
people
because I was in a
don't have
9 to 5.
the same
You know
because people
that
don't have
every
the
night
same
I'm
respect
unavailable. Come
They
on,
don't.
coach.
for
It's
your
no respect.
business. They don't have the same respect for you
Right.
building a business that could
Mm-mm.
make you millions and millions. I show y'all the money all the time.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
There's no limit on your potential. There's a limit on your potential at a job. There's a limit on your potential when you work for somebody else. There's a limit on what you can make with your degree. There are limits. Unless you come out here in this entrepreneurial world, there are limits.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can't expect. So why would you be? But that's that. You got to read Bruce Wilkinson's The Dream Giver, how he talks about those border bullies.
Ooh, that is such a
Oh
great
yeah,
book.
them border. Yeah.
Oh my God,
When
Coach,
you
that
try
is
to leave
oh,
your normal life in pursuit of excellence, and how these border bullies block the border and try to keep you where you are.
keep
He
you
said,
safe.
and I used to, think that once I got to the border, those border bullies would be, people I don't know and strangers. He said, them border bullies turn out to be the people closest to me.
His
My mama
daddy,
and my daddy, and
mama.
you gonna mess up and you gonna do this. And it's because they don't understand the journey.
And it's the fear that they have in them that they try to that they project over to you.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
Or that they're doing something different. So because they are doing something different, they don't understand
hmm
what you're doing. And they don't try to. Because if you're not careful, relationships can be very selfish. And it's
Yeah.
our fault because we didn't go through the door saying, I'm going to get a piece of me in this relationship.
Right.
But it's what I always say. Everybody wants what they want for themselves. The question is, how do they do it for themselves, or do they try to bring someone else or take someone else's energy to get what they want? and you have to preserve your energy to get what you want. And there has to be a happy medium, or something has to go. Somebody has to go.
Um, my
Right.
one my
What Vicky spoke on
pastor
earlier
used to,
about
used to say it's two
selfishness.
type of people that you need in your life: those that you can help, and those that can help you. And that we need to have those synergistic and those symbiotic relationships. And that God, every creature on this earth has a purpose. And when my purpose can connect to your purpose and we can make a difference in the world,
Mm-hmm.
then great. But those parasitic relationships,
That's right.
Those are the ones.
I just can't right. I just can't right now. I mean, it's
Mm-mm.
like just
Can't
thinking
stop
about it
my
makes me want to vomit. I just can't.
Right.
I'm so, yeah, I'm gonna keep saying it and keep saying it so I won't forget myself. I'm just so happy where I am right now because I am I'm free. And when you really taste freedom, you don't want to go back to those chains again. You just,
Right.
I mean, I guess folks out in this online world, like, what is going on this morning? Guys, we are just happy.
Well, that's what
That's what it
that's
is.
what
We're
freedom.
happy
That's
for
what
us. We're
freedom
happy
does
for
for you.
you.
That's what freedom. That's what a made up mind does. Cause see, it works
Mhm.
first in the mind, and once you really make up your mind on something, there is no going back. It's either you serve or you suffer. And if you go
Mhm.
back, that's when you start to feel depressed. Your spirit
Mhm.
starts to feel heavy. Something feels out of kilter. And you're
Yeah.
happy because you made that decision, you're woke and you're continually moving forward. And as soon as something pulls at you, it's like, this is freedom is over this side, and this is where I choose to be.
And then you know what I've learned, and then sometimes some freedom sometimes cost, and I had to make a decision. Am I going to be in a season of sacrifice, or am I creating a lifestyle of struggle? It's a difference between
Mm,
sacrifice and
Yeah.
struggle.
it sure is.
And because my perception was off a little bit, I was putting myself in the place of struggle, thinking because it was certain things I couldn't do, certain people I couldn't be around, certain just I had to make some behavioral changes. I looked at it as being struggle when it wasn't struggle. It was sacrifice.
Mm.
It was sacrifice. And whenever sacrifice is just a part of the plan. It always has been. And so I'm just glad for what God is showing me. I'm glad for just life. Just
Sacrifice is not a bad thing, because sacrifice
mm-mm.
is the thing that you give up now so that you can
Right.
prosper.
It's seasonal.
It's so that you prosper later. You
Right.
could stay and struggle. Struggle can last a lifetime, but sacrifice doesn't last always. Sacrifice, like
Mm-mm.
you said, Vicky, is only for a season. Because when that
Mm-mm.
season changes,
And we need
you
to pay
you
attention
you
to
reap that
who
harvest. That
That's
harvest
right.
that we've been talking about.
we
You
reap
reap
that
that harvest.
harvest.
When coach
Yeah.
when
And we
coach
need to
started
pay
talking
attention
to us
to who
about
we
saving
sacrifice
money, and
for.
I'm sorry, Kayshawn. Go on. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying that we need to pay attention to who, when we're sacrificing, we need to pay attention to who we're sacrificing for, because we have those leeches out there who's trying to drain the life out of you because they know that you will sacrifice and struggle for that sacrifice for them. So pay attention, because these people will drain everything out of you. And when you don't have anything because you sacrificed everything for them, now they gone, move it on to the next to see who else they can suck the life out of. So now, since I'm awake, I pay attention to who I'm sacrificing for, because I I now choose not to struggle. I choose my words. I choose the minds of how I'm thinking. I'm not struggling. I'm sacrificing, but I'm sacrificing for those who are sacrificing for me. You can't run your mouth and sacrifice with
Right.
me no more. You have to do actions and sacrifice just like I'm doing actions and sacrificing. And part of those actions is going to this website at www.blackwomenequalpay.com. And we're going to continue fighting because we woke now and we ain't going back to sleep.
Right. Hashtag still protesting.
Still
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 protesting.
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 Right. Still
So,
protesting.
folks,
We have
we
to
are
keep this
asking
conversation
you all
alive.
to come back
We
and
have to
join
keep this
us
conversation
tonight.
alive. We do. We have to
Yes,
keep this
yes.
conversation alive. If you all think about it, in the 9 to 5 roles or whatever, as we've talked about those salaries, everything is such taboo. It's so quiet. We got to be quiet about it. This is not a quiet
It has to be
conversation.
a secret.
Yeah, this is not a secret. This is a reality. If we don't do something now, this will continue. It will continue. And they put us inside of that confidentiality
Bubble.
box, the
Mhm.
secret box, the quiet box. And we have to bust out of that, bust a move. Let's bust out of that.
When I make my first million, I'm telling everybody.
Everybody, no
I
secrets,
was screaming to the
everybody.
world. I
That's
I
right.
done
It's
done
not
it,
a secret.
y'all.
Whole world. We have to keep
I
the
did it.
conversation alive. And this is
You
where we're
done
going to
done it.
do it. We are coming to the fourth night of the Black Women's Equal Pay conversation, and we want you to be there tonight at 8:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. We always give you more than what you anticipate when you come and join this
Yes.
community in the conversation. You're going to get that feeding. You're going to get that information. You're going to get that knowledge. And of course, Coach has those grants, so she's going to give you. I don't care about that technology. You won't let me be great. I'm great anyway.
That's right.
Opportunity for that hand up to take you to the next level so you can understand what you can do to close that wage gap and how
That's
you
right.
can determine your own monies and your own incomes. And there's no secret about it. The way that we do it over here with the coach is no secret. She's done it. She teaches us how to do it. And it's not a secret. We talk about it. It's an open conversation. So we encourage you to go and join us at www.blackwomenequalpay.com because we are still protesting for what's
Yes.
ours.
And we are protesting on purpose.
Purpose.
On
So
On
purpose.
purpose.
we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We are looking so forward to seeing you all tonight. Join us on the red carpet at 8:45 for conversation and networking and all of that good stuff that goes into still protesting and closing that wage gap. And do not forget to, when you go to www.blackwomenequalpay.com, to download your copy of the book, The Lies They Tell About Black Women
Yes.
and Money. We will
Yeah.
see you all tonight. Have a
See you
great day
tonight.
on
Bye
purpose,
bye, everybody.
everybody.
Thank
See you
you.
tonight.